my dudes, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back to another internet analysis video. Just wanted to say a quick thank you for the reception on my family vloggers videos. Those have been received very well and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed them. Today I want to talk about the concept of being a good influencer, like a literal good influence on your viewers, your audience, your followers. Specifically in the realm of fashion-related content on YouTube. I have noticed a big shift recently in specifically a lot of creators that I watch kind of waking up to the destruction of the fast fashion and the fashion industry in general. In case you're unaware, there is so much information out there, especially by these creators who are now talking about it. But in short, fast fashion is a term used to describe basically stores that you would find in any mall. Everything from Forever 21, H&M, Zara, all the way up to more expensive clothing. It's basically produced very unethically in terms of the way that the workers are treated. They are not paid fairly. Sometimes they work in unsafe conditions. The materials usually are not sourced ethically, and the fashion industry is very, very, very detrimental to the environment.
Buying cheap comes at a high cost. Fast fashion just works on exploitative labor conditions and is destroying the environment.
If you are interested, I definitely encourage you to watch the documentary The True Cost. I think every single person who has talked about fast fashion on YouTube mentions that documentary. I watched it a couple years back and it is truly eye-opening. After you watch it, I think it's very difficult to not be moved by it and not want to make a big lifestyle change. Back to the point of this video, good influencers. Before I get into shouting out some of the specific people that I want to talk about, let's talk about what fashion culture is like on YouTube. Fashion vloggers, haul culture. I talked a bit about this in a video earlier this year during my pink hair phase, where I was talking about the glorification of these giant mega hauls of super cheap clothing, usually coming from online Chinese retailers, such as Zaful, Romwe, etc. Watch that video if you'd like. It's got some good information in it, if I do say so myself. But even just in the months since making that video, I have seen so many more people talking about fast fashion, and many of them have personally committed to quitting fast fashion. But when you think about what the fashion culture is like on YouTube, you know, how it's changed since the glory days of beauty gurus and hauls and what I got for Christmas, even though those videos are still pretty popular today. Back then, nobody was talking about where their stuff comes from, you know, the supply chain of the clothing. It's kind of just like, oh, I spent this much money on this many things, this is my mega try-on haul, and they never question how it's possible that that dress is only $5. How is it possible that this clothing is so cheap? They just kind of go, it's so cute. Now, I don't want to demonize these creators because many of them may simply just be ignorant to the realities of fast fashion. Ignorance is bliss, but I can blame people for glorifying this overconsumption, and specifically glorifying the overconsumption of extremely cheap and unethical clothing. It's one thing to love fashion, to love shopping, but to actively often promote buying $800 worth of Boohoo or whatever to your millions of viewers is problematic. The responsibility of being an influencer is something that's kind of hard to accept for a lot of influencers. They like to call themselves influencers in terms of business. They're good at selling things, they're good at influencing their audience to buy things, but they don't want to accept the responsibility of being an influence, being an influential figure when it's something that maybe they're doing wrong. A lot of people say, I didn't sign up to be a good role model. I'm just doing me. Okay, but you have to accept it. When you have tens, hundreds, thousands, millions of followers, you have to accept the responsibility that comes with that influence. I think unfortunately the majority of influencers, not the people that I specifically watch, but just the general number of influencers, they're the ones who are still promoting toxic things like detox teas or skinny pills or appetite suppressant lollipops. I get it. It's business. Sometimes people sell things and promote them without really thinking about it, but I think we need to start holding our influencers accountable for what they promote. There's been a number of scandals of people promoting things that turn out to be really terrible companies or just outright scams. So we've got to think about it. And that's why I think it's important to also praise the influencers who are doing some good. They are using their platform to share really important issues, but still be able to create content that their audience enjoys. So when it comes to creators that are really helping to lead the fight against fast fashion and that type of content on YouTube, you have to mention Kristin Leo. I've been a fan of Kristin's for a while now, and she creates really great, well-researched and entertaining videos about the fashion industry or other damaging industries. She makes a lot of fashion videos as well about ethical fashion and a lot of thrifting, so her content is really great if you're interested in learning more about all this stuff. Let me just admit that it is hard as an influencer to really have an opinion. Now that sounds shocking, but I think I have been used to kind of being a bit outspoken and talking about things that are slightly controversial, so it might be different for me. But for the average, say, beauty vlogger, if you have just been making videos showing off your clothes, your makeup, your lifestyle tips, and then suddenly you come out with this very opinionated video about fast fashion and how it's really bad and how your audience should shop more ethically and more mindfully, that may alienate part of your audience. And I think that risk of being even slightly controversial makes a lot of creators want to stay away from even discussing anything serious.
I posted my fast fashion video talking about a controversial subject. It takes a toll on the creator. It's hard to not acknowledge the backlash and the negative feedback on that video, even though it's probably like 2% of the comments, and I really just want to yell at them. Like, I'm only human. I'm not perfect at this subject. I don't have all the answers.
Yes, it's safe to avoid any topics that may be controversial, but I think the reward when you are willing to take that risk and discuss things that are a little bit uncomfortable or may upset some of your viewers for the greater good, I think that's important. I think that's something that influencers need to stand up and be brave. And also I think it's something that is really refreshing for viewers. The audience likes to hear a little bit of opinion, even if it stirs up some drama. I think people find you more real and relatable if you actually talk about what you care about. And by the way, on this whole issue of quitting fast fashion or trying to shop ethically, I understand that not everyone can do it. Not everyone has the money or the availability of clothing places to shop from to be able to do that. It's very hard to buy specifically ethical or sustainable clothing. Fair trade clothing. And yes, it tends to be very expensive. But let me just emphasize here that I think in this whole fight against fast fashion, it's about awareness. It's about mindfully shopping. It's about resisting that urge to overconsume and buy things that you'll only wear once and then throw away. If you're going to buy something from a fast fashion store, make sure that it's something you need. Make sure it's something that you will wear and wear and wear and love until it falls apart. Just make use of it. And be conscious not to overshop, or maybe to try to find things secondhand, or invest in an ethical, sustainable piece when you can. Because I get it, dude. Your girl does not have the money to be buying like a $200 dress from Reformation. I would love to. That's my goal in life. But we all have to start somewhere. And I think that even if just half the time you choose to thrift or buy something secondhand instead of going to a fast fashion store, that makes a huge difference, okay? So I want to give kudos to everyone who's out here trying to be better. It's not about being perfect. It's about improving and being mindful and conscious and ethical. On that note, I want to talk about something that grinds my gears real quick. YouTubers that are clearly wealthy who still do these mega huge fast fashion hauls. I'm gonna throw her under the bus real quick, Tana Mojo. Tana's like a guilty pleasure watch of mine, but I'll see like her haul videos. And one video will be like a Gucci haul, and the next video is this super cheap whatever website. And I'm just like, Tana, you're a prime example of somebody who can clearly afford to shop more ethically and sustainably. And again, I don't want to be the police and say, oh, just because you have the money, you should be shopping at these expensive ethical places. Some people maybe just don't care. But I think that people who do have the money really do have that added responsibility of using the money that they have that other people don't have to shop more mindfully. Dude, my number one goal, if I am ever wealthy, is to rejoice in buying ethical, sustainable clothing and products. But maybe I'm just a geek about it. Anyway, back to more creators that I'm really, really proud of for speaking out against fast fashion. It includes Arden Rose, who's recently made a video about her journey, finding out about the problems of fast fashion and committing to shop ethically. And also Sarah Hawkinson, who does a lot of thrift content, but she also recently had a revelation about fast fashion and she has quit it and she's been making videos about her journey. And it's just great to see. I love reading through the comments on these videos of people really glad to see these creators talking about such important issues and kind of just contributing to this conversation. That's what YouTube is. That's what being an influencer is. You don't live in a bubble. YouTube is this gigantic world and it influences how people behave in their real lives. It totally influences how people shop, how they consume. So, you know, it may not change the world. It may not shift everything. There's still going to be tons of creators making these fast fashion mega hauls, but it's important to be a creator who's out here trying to be a good influence. We love good influences out here. We love big sister figures. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I really like to point out things that I notice. And that's kind of what this internet analysis series is for me, is trends that I see rising and falling on YouTube. I like to take note of it and talk about the effects that these videos have. So on this same kind of good influencer thread, I would like to make a video about the rise of thrifting because I've seen so many more videos about thrift shopping and secondhand shopping and trendy, thrifty lookbooks, and I love it. I think that's awesome. I would love to make a video about that. Let me know if you're interested. And also, I would love to make a video about minimalism because that's another hugely popular topic here on YouTube just in the last few years. And I think it's really great that so many creators are trying to live a less wasteful lifestyle and just consume less, buy less, simplify their lives, and encourage their audience to kind of go in that same direction. Declutter things, shop a little less. It's all about baby steps and being an informed person, being knowledgeable and caring. And truly it's about trying to lessen the destruction that is happening to our planet because it's kind of the most important thing that we have. Once again, please check out the creators that I have featured in this video. Their links are in the description. Tell them I say hello and hopefully keep shopping as ethically and sustainably as you can. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at tferg_. God, what a good username. And you can listen to my podcast, which is called Previously Gifted. It's here on YouTube in video form and on basically any podcast app if you would like to listen. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm really glad that you guys have enjoyed this internet analysis series so far. And stay tuned for more commentary vids, because you know I'm still watching so many videos all the time. Okay, thanks, bye!